I am fascinated by the things that people assume are universal. You know, the way you see yourself, the message you give yourself, you just assume that the world's in concert with that, and they also are thinking that same thing. Yes. And you create sort of rules for yourself based upon these truths that you've created.
Totally, like, you assume that the thing that you read on comment boards when you're 20 or level, like I did a lot of Googling myself for like a few years, and then I had to stop that as well. I think
it's brave to even say that now.
Oh no, I will be, and it's great because you can watch interviews with me at that time being like, oh, I never read anything. Such lies. And yeah, you assume that, and it's the classic thing, if you can go through 100 comments and if 90 of them are great and 10 are shit, you remember the 10 shitty ones. And then you also internalize those 10 shit comments and assume that that is what everyone is secretly thinking when you walk into a room, and like the worst thing. And maybe that's just me, maybe that isn't everyone. Maybe like I just have a particularly like neurotic way of going through the world. But I don't think it's that uncommon with actors.
I don't think it is either. Yeah. We had Emily Mortimer on here, and she said that being on a film set is like being in a film noir movie where you finish a take and you look out at the crew and people are whispering and talking, and you've got an entire plot in your head of they're thinking about firing me, they think I suck. Like you.
Oh, bless her. That's so nice. It is really nice to hear that somebody else thinks that shit. Thank you for saying that, Emily. Yeah, I think you can definitely get to that place. And I think there's a correlation between like the more vulnerable and exposing a scene is, the more you're gonna like look up after. And I remember actually James McAvoy said a thing to me that I've always loved, which is that acting is by its very nature embarrassing. Like you have to be, part of what you're being paid for is being okay with embarrassing yourself. Like as having a full-blown mental crying breakdown in front of, you know, the lighting guys who don't give a shit and who are just gonna go to lunch afterwards, or whatever year it is, who's just like says some, you know.
And you're like, I'm not moving that guy.
Right. And then you look up and you're like, oh man, well, he hates it, but it's like, he's just doing a day's work, dude. He's not come to see you out today. But I think there's part of acting is when you like put yourself out there. It's similar to like, I just did a comedy on stage, and like when sometimes you would like lay yourself out for a joke and get nothing. And you're like, that feels super cheap. Like you just feel very like exposed at that moment.